You're scrolling through Instagram and see a friend's engagement photo. You hop over to LinkedIn and see a colleague's big promotion. And then, a quiet, heavy thought lands. I should be further along by now. That feeling? It isn't a personal failure. It's not a sign that you're lazy or that you've made all the wrong choices. If you've ever felt like you're watching life from the sidelines while everyone else is in the game, you're not actually falling behind. You're experiencing a deep and universal psychological phenomenon, and understanding it is the first step to breaking free. This feeling has a name, though you won't find it in a clinical handbook: milestone anxiety. It's that intense pressure to hit traditional life goals by some unspoken deadline. It's the little voice whispering that you're late for a train you never even knew you were supposed to catch. For many of us, life felt pretty straightforward for the first 18 years. We were all on a similar track, hitting the same milestones at roughly the same time. But then, life opens up, the paths diverge, and the clear signs of progress just vanish. That's when the comparing starts. We look for outside signs to measure our own worth: promotions, relationships, houses, and social media gives us an endless, distorted catalog to browse. This has been called compare and despair, and it's a cycle that can leave you feeling like you're just not enough. One 2023 study of young people in the UK found that 93% felt pressure to compare themselves to others online, with nearly 90% saying it made them feel unsatisfied with their own life. We're seeing the curated highlight reels, not the messy reality, and we mistake someone else's highlight for our own lowlight. This constant exposure to idealized images can erode self-esteem and fuel feelings of inadequacy and depression. So, why does this feeling hit us right where it hurts? The first reason is a concept called social comparison theory. Our brains are literally wired to figure out our own value by seeing how we stack up against others. Historically, this happened in small, local communities. Today, it happens on a global scale. We're not just comparing ourselves to our neighbor. We're comparing our real, unedited lives to the most polished moments of millions of strangers online. This almost always results in what are called upward comparisons, where we measure ourselves against people who seem to be doing better, which is a fast track to feeling worse about ourselves. The second psychological force at play is the social clock. This is the invisible timeline our culture hands us for when we should be hitting major life events. Graduate, get a good job, get married, buy a house, have kids. When our own life doesn't sync up with this rigid schedule, we can feel a sense of failure, even if our own pace is perfectly fine for us. This ties into something called the arrival fallacy, the mistaken belief that happiness is a destination we'll finally reach once we achieve a certain milestone. It creates an impossible standard where the present moment is never quite good enough. Finally, this feeling gets dialed up to 11 when we feel a genuine lack of progress in areas we actually care about. When you feel stuck in a career or relationship, it can trigger a profound loss of purpose. This isn't just a feeling. It can lead to social withdrawal and isolation, which only makes you feel even more behind. Interestingly, research suggests that unhappiness often comes before the social comparison. People with lower self-esteem are more likely to get caught in these comparison traps, which in turn makes them feel worse, creating a vicious cycle. So, how do we break this cycle? The solution isn't to just try harder or catch up. It's about a fundamental shift in perspective. It starts by asking a simple, powerful question: behind, according to whom? The timelines we feel chained to were never really ours to begin with. Real progress isn't always linear, and it certainly isn't always visible. The most important work, like developing emotional maturity, resilience, and self-awareness, doesn't get a celebratory post on social media. People who take non-linear paths often report deeper fulfillment later in life, once their efforts line up with what they truly value. The goal is to stop measuring your life by its speed and start measuring it by its alignment. Instead of chasing external goals because you feel like you should, try to reconnect with your own values. What truly matters to you, separate from anyone else's expectations. When your life is aligned with what you genuinely care about, that feeling of being behind starts to fade, even if you haven't hit those traditional milestones. If this resonated with you, consider subscribing for more explorations into the psychology of modern life. I'm also genuinely curious to read your thoughts in the comments. What's one way you are choosing to define success on your own terms? Ultimately, remember this: life isn't a train you have to catch. It's a path you get to walk at your own pace. You are not late. You are not missing out. You are simply on your own timeline, and that is more than enough.